Welcome to the Real Salty Podcast. Please join Stephanie and Caitlin as we dive into life in Florida, the good, the salty, and everything in between. We'll chat about real estate, family, sports, building a community, and all the unique things that make living in the Sunshine State so special. Plus, we'll bring on some amazing special guests to share their stories and expertise along the way. So grab your favorite drink and get ready to laugh, learn, and get a little salty with us.
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back for another episode of the Real Salty Podcast. Of course, my name is Caitlin, and I'm joined by my bestie.
That's
right. Miss
That's
Stephanie.
right. That's right.
We're very excited. So this is our last recording for April of 2025.
Already.
Yeah, I've been kind of in denial that we're quarter two.
Yes.
But the month is over, so
yes.
It's officially.
Yeah, and then this week in Florida, all taxes are due.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because we got the extension. So I know there's a lot of hustle and bustle out there right now.
Yeah, I definitely filed for an extension.
Oh, yeah. Well, our accountant didn't know that there was an extension because we used my cousin from out of town. So we
love you guys.
Yeah, I know. So fantastic. There's just so many things he has to do with this. I always feel
just
so
sent him
bad.
a copy of Florida tax law. I'm kidding. Thank you for the service.
I know. That's right. Cheers to your service. That's right. Did you do anything fun this weekend?
You know, it really wasn't an eventful weekend. I got my hair done.
Oh, that's always nice, though. That makes you feel like a new person, I think.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't go that often. I mean, I go often enough. I mean, I say that. I know women that go, like, every 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah. I go every 5.
I can't.
Yeah.
I just can't. And so I probably go about 2.5, 3 months.
Well, I wish I could do that. I just feel like I can't.
Well,
I do like this 10 to 15 minute service. I love my hairdresser.
Ooh.
I do. And she just touches up the gray and then adds, she's like, "You want any more blonde?" I'm like, "Add it."
Sure.
Go for it. And it's like this 10 to 15 minute process and it just touches up. And I mean, I clearly don't do a ton to my hair, but I mean, beach hair don't care, right?
That's right. Yeah, I was going to say.
My hair actually fits in down here.
It does. You have those really cute little beach waves.
My
hair won't wave, hold a wave, be paid to hold a wave. She won't hold anything.
Yeah. I think I go every 5 weeks. Every once in a while, I'll bump it just up if I have like a holiday that I'm working off of.
Yeah.
I have one next Monday, actually. And then, but my middle child is graduating like 4 weeks later. I'm like, oh, I'm going to have to do that real quick again. It's always that timing of it all.
My girl is actually expecting right now. And she's due in August. So I had to be really mindful about when I found out in my last appointment earlier this year. My brain selfishly immediately went, okay, how many more times can I do it
my brain
goes on maternity leave?
My brain just went to, I'm actually not going to allow my woman to get pregnant. And I'm going to have to tell her that next time I see her.
I'll sign a petition.
I literally have been using her since 2018. I mean, I've used her the entire time. Most people flip through them. I get it. And I've tried things like, I've done the extensions. Like, I've tried things. And she just listens to me, does what she thinks that I should do. And like, I get it.
It was very serendipitous when I met my girl down here because I've colored my hair for 24 years, but obviously moving around a lot, there's been different places that I've had to figure out a new hairdresser. And that's always a gauntlet to be run. Yeah. Sometimes you get lucky and sometimes it takes a couple times.
No, it does. It takes some time.
I had a woman in Arkansas that maimed me. It took a couple times to figure out the right
we've
person.
all had those horrible haircuts too.
Oh my gosh, I had a woman the first time I moved to Kansas City in 2007. I had already gotten floral highlights for 7 years of my life. And this woman capped me. And my hair was at this length. And I don't know if you've ever seen the caps, but they put the cap on and then they have this like literally like a sewing needle tool. That
it pulls it out.
Pull the tiny little strand of your hair out through this cap and you look like the, what's that old horror movie? You know what I'm talking about?
You're being electrocuted?
Yes.
Almost like a static thing?
Yes, kind of like that. No, but there was another one where it was like the guy had like a grid and he said, no, it'll come to me. Anyway, I looked like that horror movie and it was, oh my God, it looked so bad. Now, 21-year-old Caitlin didn't have the lady balls to be like, what are you doing? And so I just sat there. No, because
you're like, I'm not the expert. I'm paying her to be the expert.
And I just took it and I thought, well, maybe this is new. No, this is an old
old school.
And you're only supposed to do it with like shorter hair.
Oh,
you know.
Oh,
so
right, because you'd have to pull the whole thing through.
So I had this length, if not longer, and she was torture chambering me or whatever, and I left there crying, and I went home and told Bambi, and she was just like, "Why did you let her do that to you?" And I'm like,
I didn't know.
Exactly. I paid her money and through my tears and said, "Thank you, Bam, may I have another," I guess. I don't know. But anyway, the girl.
See you in 4 weeks.
Right? Thank you, Barbara. I guess I give her money.
Yes, I'll open up a new credit card with this one.
Of course I will, to save $10 after you tortured me. But no, the woman that I see here, I got really, really lucky. I just happened to look at online for good reviews, close by, kind of a type of salon.
That's awesome.
And they're like, yeah, you can see Rhiannon. And so saw Rhiannon, and apparently it was destiny. So I've now followed her, because I originally started seeing her here along the beaches, but she moved to a salon in Dunedin.
Oh.
So I always...
oh my gosh.
I do.
You're very dedicated.
You know, I do it on Saturdays because, I appreciate
it's not
your
like
girls.
Dunedin isn't pretty.
Right. Well, the drive kind of sucks.
It does suck.
I mean, when on my way there, it's usually a late morning start appointment, and I would say on my way there, it takes me no less than probably 35 minutes.
Yeah,
right?
Easily.
On the way back,
may as well be coming from Orlando.
45 minutes, depending if you get all the lights, to an hour. But you know what? To tell you the truth, unless she was over an hour away, I would still go to
I
her.
understand that.
I would still go
I
to
understand
her.
that. The lady that I use is in Largo, and I probably pass literally,
Exactly.
I don't know, maybe 20 on the way. But I mean, I just appreciate, she's not ever trying to make me do anything.
Well, and you said that your girl liked just the aye captain. Yeah. And you're like, sure, let's do it. My girl actually was good enough to have a couple come to Jesus's with me, which is why I trust her, because she was the only one to set me straight. When I met her,
you cannot dye your hair black, Caitlin.
Well, when I met her, I came in and I was a blonde. Okay, we've done the blonde dance for the majority of my hair coloring life. I did go darker in my early 20s one time. But anyway, by the time I came to her, hi, my name is Caitlin, and I'm addicted to purple shampoo. And so I was overusing the purple shampoo to eliminate the brass to try to get that white platinum color every day, which is not good for your hair.
No, and any shampoo every day is not good.
She was like, girl, she was like, you need to
stop.
Like, you need to stop and go to at least maybe once a week, if not once every other week. It's a maintenance
Well, that's
shampoo.
good that she was asking that. But, and then she didn't try and sell you anything, which is what I like about mine. She then sold
me on moving my part. So I have side parts.
You did?
Yep. So she moved it to the center. We did that with the training. And then I thought about going back to my side part with a side bang. And she's like, no.
Yeah, no,
she just says no.
Oh.
And I'm like, okay, never mind. And so
I just wanted to make an idea.
Yeah, well, and I get it, because like at this point there is it's funny because we get along so well, and I feel like we're both old souls, and we both are movie dorks and all the things, but there is a 15-year age difference between us. So she's actually 24 and I'm 39. For
you're the latter.
That's keeping track.
You're the latter.
Thank you. And so I appreciate her because she keeps me young. Yeah. She keeps me young, where she tells me we're not. Ooh, yeah, we need that. Thank you. So I was like, she keeps me young. And I was like, she tells me we're not moving your power back to the side. That immediately tells people we're 45. And I'm like, is that what that says now? I can't guarantee I won't ever not do it. Yeah. But right now she sets me straight.
I like that. I definitely like that. And it's, just some me time.
It is. And we thoroughly enjoy each other's company. So I stuck around actually and shopped. They have this cute little boutique. It's called Salon Eden in Dunedin.
Is it down on the main street?
It's not. It's not. It's off of Patricia. So it's just outside of the main drag area there. It's in a shopping center. But they have this cute boutique area in the front that they sell like clothing and accessories and purses and things like that. And so
So across the street from like where Tiki and Woody's are, there was a gentleman that had a shop there. Okay. They sold a whole bunch of different type of just specialty things. Like they did these custom the jewelry. They did these custom license plates that you could like put a name and it would have a different state for each one. Like it was old recycled. Cool. They did shirts, T-shirts. It was just kind of this cute little gift shop. Well, as we know, that parking lot got bought out, and then everyone got kicked out, and as that's what happens in business sometimes. So they actually moved up to Dunedin.
Okay.
So it's called the Great Giftsby.
Okay.
Right on Main Street.
Cute.
So cute.
Oh, that's cute.
So his daughter, Alana, I think it's Alana, if I'm not mistaken. So his daughter runs it. I have not been up there in years, but for a while we had people that would ask, where did that shop go? Where did that shop go? It was just one of their staples that they stopped in John's Pass. Yeah. But in downtown, so I've been up to Dunedin and shopped up a couple of times, especially right after they had closed, because it's just an adorable little area.
Okay, well, note to self, I am going to have to spend some time in the adorable downtown area. Yeah. I've driven through it. I've gone to a couple of farmers markets there, but I haven't
they have quite a few of them.
A lot of time in these shops.
Yeah, so, they do. They have quite a few of them. It's a nice little ritzy area, but they have quite a few of them. So, but I mean, I didn't do a ton this weekend. I had my mom hat most of the weekend on, it felt like. And then, then the draft was this weekend. So
football, baby.
Football.
I was going to say, for everyone
snip.
For everyone that's been keeping up with us here, you all know well and good that we are having withdrawals.
Yes.
and if you didn't know that, I'm telling you now, because we definitely are having withdrawals. We need our football back.
Yeah, we do.
But
we enjoy it.
We do. The draft this year.
Yeah.
What was that?
It was a little juicy. It was all the great stories that come out of it, of the people that are saying the community outreach that they already do. Yeah. And then, one of the gentlemen that got drafted to the Raiders, his brother was just killed in New Orleans. Some of those stories that come out, I appreciate that they started coming out after everyone stopped talking about
Shadur
Sanders, right? Because that was all they talked about for a while. I mean, even poor, Cam got drafted number 1 from Miami, and they didn't even talk about him really. They didn't really even talk about him. So, but then the Bucs ended up inviting basically Shadur's brother Shiloh, to their training camp. Okay. So we actually might get Sanders, and we're getting a Sanders.
We'll get one
in
of
Bucs.
Sanders.
Yeah, we're gonna get one of them in this, and then one of the which I thought was cute so Kansas City, obviously, Caitlin. I'm a Bucs fan. Yes. I'm also a Bears fan because I grew up in Chicago. My whole family likes different teams, so we're all versed in all of them, unfortunately.
Your guys' fandom to the NFL team was like a bingo card.
Yeah.
You just wanted to catch them all, apparently.
Yeah, we did. I know. Well, we did our Christmas picture in that.
Who's going to cover the AFC?
Yeah,
who's gonna cover the
totally
NFC?
is.
Who's going to cover this?
It totally is. It totally is. But there was a kid that was on Florida's team that I was reading about today. Well, I remember watching him in the fall, and he weighs over 400 pounds.
Whoa,
he's going to be another lineman for the Bucs.
Wow.
So we got Vita Vea and him. So they were saying that it's 800 pounds worth of protection.
Jeez.
Yeah. Which I was really excited he got drafted because he was adorable to watch. And he is a good runner. He's a good athlete. He's a good bencher. He's got
he's got the strength to move.
Oh my gosh.
400 pounds.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I would watch him, and I'd always joke with my daughter, look at it. Maybe that could be a future boy for you. And no, Mom.
Imagine the linebackers they would make.
Oh my God. I know.
Was it where they talk about well, you look like Division I parents or something
exactly.
That? Yeah,
exactly. So, but that was fun to see over the weekend, except for the whole Shadur thing.
So the Shadur
totally took over.
5th round, right?
Yeah, 5th round. Yeah, it was 100 some into it. But Tom Brady was 5th round, so.
Yes.
We're not going to judge, and it wasn't a huge quarterback year.
It was a very big quarterback year because that's what I was going to talk about. Was even when we make the comparison though with Tom Brady, right? And he went in the 5th round.
Yeah.
But what I'd be interested in knowing is going back and watching because the outrage from the coverage.
Well, the coverage
and the ESPN.
I actually had to turn it off. I had to turn on ABC.
It was nonstop. I don't know. Were they like that with Tom Brady?
I don't know. I was literally, no, I don't think that they were.
Here's the thing.
Tom Brady didn't have a publicist back there. His father is his biggest fan, and everyone knows who Deion Neon Sanders is, right?
Well, and I was asking Trent, like he's some all-knowing, omnipotent, freaking NFL wizard.
Well, he was just sitting there with you, so he had to be.
What's happening?
Right. Oh,
and
yeah.
He's like, and I go, are they speculating? Like, what's happening? And it's like, he's like, yeah, they don't really know. And so then my brain goes to, Jerry Maguire.
Yes.
Like, somebody needs to make a movie of this. Because whatever was happening behind there, I would watch it. Because I want to know which one of those teams were like, we don't want him because we don't want to have to deal with his dad.
Well, they do
we
that
don't want him because we don't want to have to deal with his dad.
What do they do that on HBO or Max?
Coaching or micro.
Yeah, they do that. Yeah, they do those different.
Oh, they better have done one this year because I want to see
would be
behind the curtains. Jerry Maguire, bathroom yelling. What is happening?
Yeah, and then there was that kid that Craig called him. What? Yeah, so there was a kid. He's the son of a defensive coach.
Oh no!
And so, I mean, these guys all they probably have a special phone for this, just so that they're.
When you say a kid, though.
I would say probably I would say probably late high school, early college.
Oh, dude, no.
Yeah. So when he's put in a public apology, and he called Shadur and talked to him personally, and said, "I'll just learn and grow with it," but his father must want to wring his neck over that.
Yeah.
First of all, how did he get the phone number? Because it had to have come from his father in some degree.
Somewhere he found something where it was.
Yeah, but there was the beginning of her just kept waiting.
Did he call him and say that he was
drafted
with the team that his father works for?
No, I don't. I didn't listen to it its entirety, and I shouldn't even be talking about something I only know half about.
That's okay. We'll all go down the rabbit hole later and let it find it out. I mean, even if I find out it's fake news,
it's just so sad. I just thought it was sad for that.
So he currently,
for Shadur.
Yeah. So Shadur is currently a Brown, right? He got drafted with the Browns.
Yeah.
They already have Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
And they drafted another quarterback.
Yeah, they did beforehand.
Third round.
Yeah, and there's speculation that was a way to keep his salary down because it's all prorated at this point.
Yeah.
It wasn't years ago, but now it is.
Yeah, because the rookie contract is different than your.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And the round that you're drafted is different. So there's there's all this speculation because and a lot of these teams, they already know what their draft pick is for next year.
Yeah.
And maybe they have their eye on someone else that's still in college and they don't want to throw their.
Maybe.
And,
they made, good points. I mean, Colorado State. Okay?
Right.
He played for Colorado State.
Yes.
Did they have one of their miraculous comeback seasons for their school?
Yeah.
Yes. But does that school compete? Like, okay.
Yeah, does he play Michigan? Does he play Ohio State?
Had played at Alabama.
Yeah, that would be a totally different
Georgia. Or played in, Florida. Or played at Mizzou.
Yeah, so where their competition is really strong, right?
Exactly. Something that showed that he went through.
Yeah. The only thing statistically that I heard that was about his performance, because there's speculation of attitude, there's speculation of bringing daddy along with it. Like, there's all this different speculation. The only thing I heard about his actual playing ability is that he holds the ball too long, and that in the NFL he's going to get tackled so fast because he doesn't quick release. And it's not even necessarily that he holds the ball too long. He does, but that's because he can't make the decision on where to throw it. And so they're concerned. That was the only statistical, because he plays, why would he not?
But one would think, so old school quarterbacks, right? They are the plant and hold and get figured out, and then they count on that coverage that protects them. But now we think about what is, in my brain, the now quarterback generation. Their feet.
They're running.
Their feet work.
The amount of offensive lines that were drafted quickly in this draft was clearly they've all made a stand that your quarterback is the most important. And we all knew that.
That's true.
But
I need to pay attention specifically to that because if I take myself back to the episode after the Super Bowl, that was one of the things that I said, not that I'm, again, an all-knowing, but our offensive line, protect Patrick. There's definitely some things that need to be worked out on that with the Kansas City Chiefs during this offseason and maybe this drafting through. I need to look into what we got and what we're working with, but
so that part was interesting. So I watched that for a couple days.
Right? Yeah. So, but no, I literally think there's a story. There's a Jerry Maguire thing.
There's got to be.
There's gotta be. Somebody promised something and then went back on it. And then that instilled some kind of maybe doubt with the other teams. And I'm like, well, if they weren't going to take them, why aren't they going to take them? Oh, well, they don't want to take them. We don't want to take them.
Yeah.
It's like,
the only thing that I thought that was sad that I heard during the draft is the first night I was watching it with Michael and then my son Brody, who knows more about football than anyone needs to. But is that, and he's a Bears fan, is that whatever pick they took first, which was like a tight end or something like that, that the Bears took, like Brody was like, I trust him. And I was like, oh my God, you are such a Bears fan.
that will play well in your favor as a Bears fan.
Exactly. I was
you
like,
are easily trusted. Oh my, you were spoken like a true
you are
Bears
such
fan.
a trusting Bears fan. I was like, so typical, like,
adorable.
exactly. That's right. That's right. Because all of the Bears fans that went on stage because it was done in Lambeau were being harassed the whole time. So, yeah. But so that was good. So then, so that was kind of fun. I mean, that was kind of what happened this weekend. And
I know the King of the Beach happened this weekend around town, which glad to see another regular event being able to happen after the hurricanes.
Yes.
I looked like they had a really good turnout. I went to the captain's party briefly on Thursday.
Oh, good for you.
And the line to sign up, of course, was ridiculous. So good to see that. But actually, last Thursday was the State of the Beaches Town Hall meeting at Madeira Beach.
I neglected to attend.
That's okay.
I don't remember why, but
life.
Probably I would imagine
life.
Just life is happening.
It was last Thursday, so I actually was able to attend. I had said I was going to go, and then actually I found out there was a streaming option, but then I wound up going in person. And it was really good. I wasn't familiar with the program from the St. Petersburg Community College, the Institute of Strategic Planning or something of that kind.
That sounds good.
Well, and the other thing is, too, me not being originally from this area, I guess I didn't realize that it was implemented by a Bill Young, congressman.
I've heard his name floating around with the same information.
It seems as though he's done a lot, like
his name is on a lot of the literature,
philanthropically, to help with like public works and public planning and stuff like that, and basically with in conjunction with the St. Petersburg Community College.
Okay.
So anyway, it was really good. They did stream it. You will be able to go back and rewatch it.
Yeah, I probably will. I know I had planned on doing that. I think
it's not up yet. So I actually just double checked on the St. Petersburg Community College YouTube channel today.
It's not up.
It's not there yet. But I'm sure it'll be posted because there's other ISPIS meetings that have been posted that were this. It was a really good turnout. I would venture to say probably about, there was multiple news press there. It was moderated by Al Rochelle, which again, not being from the area, I didn't realize that that's Tampa Bay's basically Dan Rather.
Yes, it is. Yes, I saw him on the lineup.
He is a gem of a man, and we need to protect him.
Yeah, I saw him on the lineup when I was looking, and I was like, oh, yeah, okay, that's who they have. Because we kept mentioning that they were going to use a Bay News 9, but I didn't know which one. So good for him.
I didn't realize it was Al Rochelle. So it was practically, you should have, so just to be a fly on the wall, and this was kind of off script of what we wanted to talk about with this event, but there was a certain age of woman in the room that when he walked in to go take his seat up there.
Oh my God.
I swear to God, there was a certain age of woman that just kind of straightened themselves up a little bit more in their chair and just kind of like,
oh, that's hysterical.
and I was just thinking, I was like,
oh, he's a sweetheart.
He's like,
that is so fun.
I'm like, are you the Tampa Bay geriatric Ron Burgundy? Is this
Did I
Ron
not know about that?
Burgundy?
Exactly.
Like, what's happening right now? But no, just little things that I noticed where there's a certain age of woman in the room, every single one of them freaking kind of straightened up a little bit and batted a little bit. So, but no, there were some really good questions. There was a lot of things that were discussed. Of course, for time's sake, they had to keep it within an hour and a half. They did pretty rapid fire with it. He did a really good job moderating to where they didn't just start with the one gentleman at the far left and go down the line so that one person would be last every time. There were a few mayors that were already on the itinerary. So, for example, the vice mayor from Reddington Beach was there. I think his name is Tim Thompson. Mayor John Doctor from Treasure Island. Mayor Anne Marie Brooks from Madeira Beach. Mayor Diantha, and forgive me, her last name starts with an S, but she's the mayor of Indian Shores. And then there was Karen Love, I think, who's the mayor of Gulfport. Okay. I wanted to talk about her because big fan already.
Nice.
And then my friend, there was a gentleman that I cannot recall his name. I know he's associated with Reddington Shores.
Okay.
Excuse me. Reddington Shores. Older gentleman. And he seemed to be a last minute addition, only in the fact that he wasn't on all of the marketing stuff.
Okay.
And where he was at the podium seating round table,
he didn't
have a name tag.
Okay.
He didn't have a name tag. Everybody else had a name tag in front of him. So last minute addition, the more the merrier, one would think. Well,
oh no.
Oh, God, strike me down.
Oh no.
Here's the thing.
Oh no. Does he have experience?
So he is newly, I need something. He is a newly appointed person to the Reddington Shores.
Okay.
I don't know if he was the vice mayor. I don't know if he was the interim mayor. I don't know if he's a commissioner.
Yeah.
I don't remember. But the thing is that
you didn't know you needed to remember when they announced him.
Right. That's
okay. Now we're getting to it.
Like one of those precious people that somehow has just dropped out of the sky now with the mindset and the information knowledge of right after the hurricane.
Oh.
So some of the things that he said were like, that's cute, but nobody's saying that anymore because we know damn well now, after almost 6 months, that we can't do that because of this and this and that.
You're like, get up to speed, buddy.
Dude,
get
like
up
I
to
said,
speed.
I'm like, what spaceship just dropped him out of here? Because
it's like you went into a time capsule in the beginning of November.
Right. And I'm like, oh my God, did he literally just step out from September 29th? Where we didn't know things yet, and he's just saying the things that we all thought at the time and then figured out well and good already now 100 times over. Because the question was posed, I'm going to try not to get too fired up about it. And again, bless his heart, because I also realized that any position of public service, it's not an easy job. And you can't make everybody happy.
And it's thankless almost always.
Exactly. And it's a thankless job. So
it's
I'm
not
just
a job
like,
I would
again,
ever
I'm not trying to talk smack necessarily, but let me just...
It was a distraction.
Let me just paint the
But
picture.
if it was a distraction in the meeting...
It was, because the question was, tell me about the state of your specific town now, economically, and most of the mayors were talking about the percentage, if they have more than one, which a lot of these towns do, how many other public parks are back open?
Okay.
How many other beach access are back open? What percentage of their businesses are back open?
Their residents, how many permits are there?
How many permits are we at? What's our issue rate? So you guys still working with contractors?
Oh no.
So the gentleman begins his statement to said question as they've gone down the line now, and everyone's given pretty much that type of response. And he goes, first of all, I just want to say I've been a builder for 40 years.
Oh, right. Okay.
That's and great. Immediately I'm in my chair and I'm like, oh, this is good.
Yeah, we're going to be making a drinking
game. And this is where we're going off the rails.
Yes.
I was like, there
totally
goes
off
the train.
Rails. Yes.
There goes the train right off the track. So he proceeds to say that what we have to do is eliminate the red tape. There are people that are hurting. They need to get back to normal, and we need to allow them to get back to normal. So remove the red tape. And so basically that meant that if any city official in his town goes to a structure, residential or commercial, and the people that are working in there can produce a license, walk away.
And we just will worry about FEMA later.
This is what I'm talking about.
I mean, that's like crazy.
Dude.
Because they all want to do that. They all want to do that. The whole area would be put back together.
It would be put back together. And then think about all the things of how many
people were here?
How many people what the
here?
Contractors could do to where they say, yeah, man, we'll put $200,000 back in here. It's going to look fantastic. Pay your $200,000, get it completely remodeled, and then you don't find out about the red tape to find out you never should have done that.
We would have had it all put back together. I mean, that's just like that Speedway parking lot across the street.
Yes.
Which that's supposed to take another year.
Actually, I'll be interested to follow up with that because I met the brand new Pinellas County Commissioner, Mr. Nowacki.
Oh.
Okay. And Fran, shout out to Fran Meehan with Century 21 Vegans, she specifically told him when he came around, goes, hi, I'm Commissioner Nowacki. Hi, I'm Commissioner Nowacki, or whatever. And she goes, oh, I do have a question for you. The one park here in town is a Pinellas County park. And he's like, what? Okay, yeah, tell me about it. He pulls up the park on his phone. He's taking screenshots. He's basically texting to a few people. He said he was going to look into it first thing the next morning, last Friday. So let's see.
Well, I did see a bulldozer over there today.
Dude.
I was like, I heard
Shout
that
out,
was
Fran. You hear that? You
yeah.
got
I heard that was, and I was like, are they on the beach? Or are they over there? But so maybe that, because that one's a really big one for us.
He promised he was going to look into it first thing.
Well, that's
that
good.
would be amazing.
That would be really amazing.
And then Fran's like, you know, we talked about the fact that there's like, it's a safety hazard.
Yes. Oh no, it's a there's still like
debris stuck in the fence. There's ripped apart beach chairs and
that's exactly what I was going to say.
Sharp stuff.
You can't even walk on that sidewalk without getting a tetanus shot.
And I explained to him that the property owner next to it was an old resort motel, and that property has had to be torn down. Due to the damage. And now what's happening is because they can't walk through the parking lot of their park, they're walking across the demo lot, and it's a total safety hazard. There's concrete, there's barbed wire, there's glass, there's all kinds of shrapnel there.
All the things left from the hurricane, too, because it's just barely been touched.
Hey man, shout out to Commissioner Nowicki.
Yeah, that would be fantastic.
That would be fantastic. And actually, one of our agents approached him. I love you, Fran.
How long did that meeting last?
It was an hour and a half.
Okay.
And then afterwards, it was actually a real networking event, which basically they're like, you know, we have wine, we have beer. Our sponsor, Chick-fil-A, has
we have Jell-O shots.
Well, the Chick-fil-A have been sat out there. Note to next meeting: don't sit the Chick-fil-A outside for almost 2 hours.
Yeah, let's.
Okay. That is just asking for a recipe. I realize that most of us here on the beaches have iron stomach. Not me. I knew. I was like, I really want to eat that chicken nugget, but I can't because I know bad things are going to happen.
Really bad things. So it's not Chick-fil-A's fault.
No.
Just get it delivered a little later.
They just delivered it, and they sat it next to the coolers that had the wine and the beer and everything, and we helped ourselves. And then I went to the captain's party down at the ROC area. But anyway, so the gentleman of, I've been a builder for 40 years. And then it goes off into, look at their license and walk away. And again, the protection for the consumer, there's no way that this can happen. So again, it was almost like he was just like, what spaceship did you just fall from? What rock did you
George
just crawl
Jetson?
Out from
I don't know what's going on with you, but
Earth was Major Tom to planet Earth or whatever it is. I don't know, but it again, overall, it was a really good meeting. I do want to give a shout out to the Gulfport mayor. I believe her first name is Karen. I know her last name is Love because she had the cutest pin that said Love Gulfport. For I have to assume her candidacy, but she did mention that every single person in Gulfport, they have literally gone through a changing of the guard. Oh, not a single person there has been there longer than 3 months.
Oh, wow.
And so basically she was proud to report that in their tenure now, they've issued more permits than the entire time.
Wow, that's amazing.
So they figured out the streamlining of it. And you know what? Shout out to Gulfport.
Yes.
Because they actually, she mentioned that not only is she, obviously a female, the mayor, but their entire commission board is all female.
Oh, that's amazing. Shout out to Gulfport.
There was a lady clap that happened in the forum of the
when they all realized it.
When she said that,
she
we all
called
kind
it
of
out.
went, woo, 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 you know. But I am very interested in looking at this because I am always interested in more women being represented in politics.
Yeah.
I feel like it gives an even feel to it.
Yeah.
Obviously, there can be some jokes and negative connotations made, but let's watch Gulfport.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, if these women,
we need to keep an eye on that.
If they get shit done in a record amount of time,
that's right.
I think that this is worth noting.
Yeah. It's absolutely. I love that.
Well, and
I love the publicity of it, too.
Not that we hate to, don't to be inappropriate, but it's like, what can we get done without a dick in the ring?
Oh, exactly.
Just kidding.
Let's find out.
I'm just kidding, but I'm just saying.
Find out.
Let's see. Let's see. And if we all burn it to the ground, just like the naysayers think that we will,
then I'll try it again.
Whatever.
Right. It's a small town.
But you know what? I have half the right mind to think that those naysayers are going to be proven wrong.
That would be amazing.
Fold,
that would be amazing.
I would love to see it. So
that would be amazing. So that's fantastic.
Yeah. So anyway, that happened last week, and then
we have another event this weekend.
Yeah. Right before Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah, I think it's the 78th the celebration, basically annual celebration of Madeira Beach.
What
78.
Year are we on 78.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, 78. Yeah. Actually, one of the homes that, it's not even a home because it was just the land that I sold. He had the survey from 1948.
Oh my God. That's cool.
So cool.
That's really cool.
I like, I mean, I feel like I need to put it in like Madeira Beach's museum.
I think that if you wanted to donate it.
Yeah, I have a
definitely
copy.
should be in the
Yeah, he
public
sent me a
records.
copy. I'm going to have to bring that over to them because I think that would be cool to see.
I think it would be really cool to see.
But yeah, so they are going to do fireworks 4 to 9, just a big celebration as they like to do, which I think is super exciting. I mean, we spend a ton of time talking about Madeira Beach, but you and I we just love this town. I mean, we literally love the town. We love the town that it stands for, where it's been, you know, the what it's going through. And I know there's so many people that don't want a lot of growth, but there's just only so much growth that can happen in this town because it's just not that big.
Exactly.
And the laws that are in place to make sure that it doesn't exceed certain
Nobody's
amount.
changing any.
No, I mean we're not a nightly rental unless you're on Gulf Boulevard.
Yes.
So we're considered short term, but short term speaking 3 months.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of them that are grandfathered into, but I don't know. I mean, there's just always that's the thing that's amazing about Madeira Beach. And I'll even go as far to say that, like, when my parents moved to Florida in 2004, about a year later, they were living over in Valrico, and that's where their house was. And about a year, maybe 2 years later, probably 2 years later, they bought a condo in Indian Shores. And they lived in that condo and then another condo for over 10 years. And then they eventually sold Valrico because my father had started the jet ski business. But they would not, like, John's past was great. It always has been great. It's a fisherman community, and it's always had a collection of people that, from a tourist standpoint, have come to. But they would not even have considered purchasing property in Madeira Beach back then because it was just run down.
I heard it was a little Wild Wild West.
Yeah, it was a little Wild West. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of YouTube videos that people carry over from the islands right onto there. But a lot of these homes were built in the 50s, right? Like, that's kind of where I was going to. The 50s and 40s, and there's nothing wrong with that, but there's obviously some massive safety concerns with plumbing, electrical, all of it that, I mean, I am so sad for everyone that lost their home and have to kind of rebuild, but this is everyone comes here and says this is just such a slice of heaven. Well, it needs to always look like a slice of heaven too. Correct. And so I'm just really excited. The community really rallies together. I think the residents really rally together. They know where the locals go.
I'm going to be honest in that, and maybe I'm not jaded necessarily, but partial. I guess, like you talked about, between our affinity for Florida. But I'm not going to lie, like, in watching just the recovery from the last 6 months and then hearing it again from some of the mayors in the meeting and knowing what's going on, what has had to happen in other towns. And
I'm super
we
proud.
all were trying to figure it out.
Everyone was.
Super proud of our city. Because, trust me, there are some other towns that have some serious issues.
And everyone not everyone, but some of the people that reside here are the ones that you're going to find behind these investments because they truly care about the town that they live in. They're not up from Jersey.
And what would you rather
and not
have?
That I don't have a problem
people.
with that because there's some that are, but would you rather have your local people? Yeah. Everything. I mean, I just am super proud of it. But yeah, so there's another celebration this weekend, and they'll have fireworks at 9 p.m. So that's kind of fun. So that might be, I might stumble over there this weekend.
What is that, Friday?
Saturday night.
I'll go with you.
Yeah. Okay, so that would be kind of fun, I think. Just the whole community coming together as they do all the time, but it's nice to hear.
It is really nice because, some of the towns we're talking about, some of the community events, like one of the mayors, I believe it was Huntington Beach, had mentioned that they were really pleased that they were able to do their Easter egg hunt.
Yes. Those small little things.
In the park. And then, and he's like, in a few months ago, we didn't know if we'd be able to do our Christmas tree lighting.
Which is amazing.
And it's like,
in my subdivision, which is not on the water, that we've talked about before, the whole clubhouse, which is where we would do everything, is totally flooded.
Still?
Well, I mean, it's not flooded
still.
Not
water in it, but is it still?
No, they're still putting it back together. So they normally do a whole event for Easter weekend.
Right.
for the kids.
Yep.
And they had to do it across the street at some of the lanes, which was fine.
Yeah.
I mean, it was wonderful they were able to do that. But no, and then there used to be, there's a small little pocket of 55 and older in my community. It's called Seminole on the Green. It's these lovely little villas. They're just what more do you need, right? When you get older,
this is
what
gonna
more
sound
do you
really
need?
stalkery, but I was in your neighborhood.
Yeah.
Oh, because I was checking out those two
Sirhan.
houses on Parade Train.
Checking out the Sirhan house.
Yes, both of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I know those villas because we were driving through and you can actually see in the windows
When it
of those
starts,
places
yeah.
that they are still demoed out.
Yeah, we used to do a
on the
pancake
drywall.
breakfast.
Yeah.
My daughter and I would go to a pancake breakfast. I think it was the first Saturday of the month. They're one of the Saturdays, second Saturday, and
Right.
they lost everything in their little community center. So it is amazing when they're able to still figure out a way to put on. So all these events being able to still go on, and Madeira Beach being able to figure it out, and then I'm not as knowledgeable about some of the other towns because it doesn't totally impact us with our business being here as well as our
Sure.
office and you residing in Madeira. It just makes sense. So we do focus on a lot of Madeira, but that's just we're so proud of it.
We are. And it's got a lot of things going for it.
It
I mean,
does.
we can go on and on about how the replenishment of the sand. Some of these towns don't even have beaches right now. They are on the beach, but there is no beach.
Yeah.
And there is no
we have
end in sight.
umbrellas up already. Like
That's what I'm saying.
we have there's two groups that own the yellow umbrellas, which is kind of what Madeira Beach always stood for, is the yellow umbrellas, and they're up and running, and every day.
Archibald's getting back open.
That's
Snapchat
right.
is going to be reopened.
Yep.
Like it's a little bit back to normal.
Exactly.
And apparently, thanks to Pinellas County Commissioner
Yes.
Billy, we're going to get our
I
public
can't
park
wait to.
back.
That would be fantastic.
Dude, it needs to
It's just a
happen.
lot of
That's
parking.
A lot of parking.
That's a lot of parking. That's probably like
parking spots,
200 spots, I would say.
Yeah, well,
So-
and it's the only one in between, really, from all the way to the 150th
Yes.
Snack Shack in Archibald, all the way to the one by the bridge.
Yeah.
And it's like, that is that.
Yeah.
You know, there's a couple of
Little
I don't want
spots.
to say piddly
There's probably
spots, but
30 to
yeah.
50 little lots here and there.
but
Yeah.
that needs to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Because
that's
again,
exciting.
people are crossing over private property that
It's
has
contaminated.
travel. It's contaminated.
It's contaminated sand.
Oh my God, we have to make sure it says that's contaminated sand.
I know, it's like our
okay.
slogan, I swear.
So
So
we
but
just can't get away with it.
I
We
know,
can't
we
get
can't.
away from
we
it.
can't.
All right,
So bad.
so still lots going on. We wanted to make sure to keep you guys up to date with it. Today is our last April recording,
Yes.
so the next time we meet, it will be Cinco de Mayo.
Cinco de Mayo. We gotta figure this out.
We might have to do margaritas.
We,
I think we should
oh my
do-
God, we should definitely do.
I think
Yeah.
we should do something.
I'll do some
Yeah.
margaritas. We'll do margaritas.
We'll do margaritas. We'll bring it to. We'll give the people what they want.
No, I mean, they do want it.
I think they want.
They
it.
really want us to have margaritas. Thank you for writing in and
If you want
telling
to
us
hedge your
that.
bets on what we'll talk about next week on
Yeah.
margaritas, we can talk about that too.
Yeah.
So, as always, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Feel free to give us a follow on the socials. Our Instagram page has reels now, so
It's
let's
starting
go,
to get the
people.
reels.
We're getting the reels. So we again want to give a shout out to Jared. He's our amazing digital videographer editor. He's doing great things for us. In the meantime, though, go support your local businesses.
Yes, please do.
And football is coming.
It is.
All right. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks so much.